everyone, it's Vicky, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today, we're actually doing a revamp of the Kandi mask tutorial using only two colors. I thought maybe I could make it a little bit easier because I do get a lot of people confused on my old Kandi mask video, so I thought maybe I can do better this time. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using green and purple, so still trying to stick with the spooky Halloween vibes. You will need a total of 332 beads to make this mask. I'm going to be using 200 for purple and 128 green. I will also be using scissors, don't forget those. And then for the mask straps, I will be using a 1mm white elastic. I'll also be using a 0.7mm stretch magic for the body of the mask. I'm sure that fishing line would probably work really good too, but I haven't tried doing that yet. So this mask will be using the odd payout stitch for the middle part. So if you haven't already, you should try out the odd payout stitch cuff tutorial, and it'll help you kind of prepare for doing this. So to start with, I'm going to take my clear stretch magic string and get like a 5-foot piece. Although this is probably going to take closer to 10 feet, I prefer to start with 5 feet and then just add more if I need it. So you'll want to fold your string in half and hold the two ends next to each other. Then I'm going to add on one purple bead onto each end of the string. Then I'll put the two ends together and place on one green bead. And then I'm going to put one purple bead onto each end of the string again. And then put the two ends of the string together and place on one green bead. I'm going to put one purple on each end again. And then put the ends together and place one green onto both of them at once. So you kind of see the pattern here, right? It's kind of like that. And that is 6 beads across. But we want to keep doing this pattern until it is 23 beads across. Once you have the 23 beads across, you'll want to pull all the beads to the middle of your folded in half string. And also tighten them. And this is a great time to double count the rows and make sure that there's 23, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. So 23 beads across. And I am just going to tighten this some more. Make sure that it's going to be nice and sturdy and neat looking. And then I'm going to tie the two ends into a double knot. And tug gently. So then I'm going to set one of my ends of the string off to like the back because we're not using it just yet. But right now we're only going to be using one end of the string. So I will take the end I'm using and place it through one of the edge beads that's sticking out. And pull that through. Then I'm going to add a green bead here to fill in this gap, and then place my string through the next purple. Then I'll add another green and place my string through the next purple. Add another green, place the string through the next purple. Keep doing this till you reach the end. And also make sure to tighten your string by gently tugging on it after every few beads that you've added. Now, you'll take your string and place it through this green bead that's sticking out on the end without adding a bead. Then place on a purple bead and put your string through the next green that's sticking out. Place on a purple bead and put your string through the next green. Place on a purple bead and put the string through the next green. And just keep doing this until your string is coming out of this green on the other side. Then gently pull to tighten the row. Then place your string through this purple bead on the end without adding a bead. Then you'll place green beads all the way across this row until you get to this purple bead that's sticking up on the end. Then you'll place your string through this green bead that's sticking out without adding a bead. Then place purple beads all the way across until you get to this green bead that's sticking out on the end. Now place your string through this purple bead that's sticking out without adding a bead. Then add green beads all the way across until you get to this purple bead that's sticking out on the end. Now place your string through this green bead that's sticking up without adding a bead. Then you'll add 6 purple beads on this row and your string will come out at this green bead that's sticking up. So this is where we're going to start making the 2 little points at the top of the mask. And you can tell you're at this point because there is 5 spaces to add beads. But we're only going to use 4 of them. So go ahead and place your string through this purple bead on the end without adding a bead. Then you will put on 2 green beads in those 2 spaces. And then this middle space, we're going to actually leave that blank. So instead, I'm going to weave the string through this very middle green bead without adding a bead. And then I'll thread the string through this purple bead that's sticking up right next to it without adding a bead. And then I'll place a green bead in each space after that. So it should look like that. So it's 2, and then blank, and then 2. And on this next row, we're only going to place 2 beads, 1 purple here on this point, and 1 purple here on this point. So I will take my string and thread it through this green bead that's sticking out. Then place on a purple bead, and then place my string through the next green. Then I am also going to weave my string through all these beads all the way till I get here, without adding any more beads. So I'm going through that purple and that green. Very nice, it went through both of these 2 at once. Then it needs to go through this purple and this green. Oh, I didn't realize how short it was getting. Nice. Probably should add some string right here before I go any farther. Didn't realize how short it was getting. So I'm gonna add about 2.5 feet. There's a tutorial about how to add string. In the description will be the link. Now I can put on my other purple point bead. So now the top is finished. So I am going to leave this string here for right now so that it doesn't get in my way. And I'm gonna flip this over so that I can easily work on the other side. So I'm going to be using this string that's right here coming out the side. And I'm going to place it through this bead that's sticking up on the end. And then I will add a green bead in every space all the way across. I'm going to switch back to this string that's coming out of the top. We need to get this string to come out down here so we can use it as part of the odd payout stitch, because we'll need 2 strings. So let me flip that over for just a second. I'm going to thread this string through each bead all the way until I get to this green bead that's the second from the outside. Now that I have my string coming out of this green bead, I'm going to then put it through this bottom purple bead on the edge. And the string should kind of just suck up in between the beads. Now we have a string on each side that we can use for the odd payout stitch. So I'm going to take the string that I just threaded down onto this side, and I'm going to add purple beads all the way across until I get to the other side. So I will add a purple bead here and then place my string through this next green. And I'll keep doing this until I get to this green bead over here, and I will show you how to keep going from there. Now that your string is coming out of this green bead here, I'm going to show you how to add the very edge bead. So on that same string, add a purple bead, and then you'll need to switch to the other string. And then you'll take the other string and place it through that bead that you just added, but going towards the inside. And that will hold on the edge bead. Then you'll need to fill all of these gaps with green beads. Now I'm going to switch to the other string. Place on a purple bead for the edge. Put this string through the next green. And then once again, I'll fill all purple beads till my string is coming out of this green edge bead. And I'll show you again how to secure this edge bead. So place on a purple one, then switch to the other string and place it through that same bead, but going towards the inside. And that will hold it on. And now you can place all green beads all the way across. Then I will switch back to the other string, place on a purple bead, and put this string through the next green. Then place on all purple until your string is coming out of the green bead on the other edge. Then you'll add a purple bead, then switch to your other string and place it through that same purple bead, but going towards the inside. Then just put green beads all the way across. Then I'll switch to my other string, add a purple bead, and put my string through the next green. Then add purples all the way till I get to this green edge bead. Then you'll add a purple bead for the very edge. Then switch to your other string and place it through the same bead that you just added, but going towards the opposite way. Now this row will be all green. Now I will switch strings, add a purple bead, and place my string through the next green. Then add purple all the way till you get to the edge. And now I'm going to add my purple edge bead and then switch to my other string and put that string through the same bead by going towards the inside. And that was actually our last edge bead of the mask. You can tell because there are 7 edge beads. So now we need to start working on the bottom. Now this row will just be all green all the way across. Now this string is getting pretty short, but that's okay because we're just gonna leave it here. And we're only going to be working with this other longer string from now on. We're gonna make the bottom exactly how we made the top, but I'll still walk you through it. So you'll take your string and place it through the next green without adding a bead. No more edge beads. Then we'll be adding purple all the way across until we get to this green on the edge. Alright, now my string is coming out of this green edge bead. And as I said, no more edge beads. So we're just going to take the string and place it through this next purple bead without adding any beads. Then we're going to do green all the way across until we get to this purple bead that's sticking out on the end. And you may have noticed that there's some weird stuff going on with this bead over here, and that's alright, we'll fix it later. I'm actually gonna add a bit of string here. So now I will place my string through the next green that's sticking out. Then I'll add purple beads all the way until I get to this green bead right here. So now my string is coming out of this green bead right here. And then I'm going to put it through this purple bead that's sticking out right next to it. And then I will fill all this row with green beads until I get to this purple bead on the end. No, you can't have the candy. Now I will place my string through this next green bead that's sticking up. Add all purple until I get to this green bead on the other side. Alright, and this is where we're going to start working on those points again. So we have 5 spaces, but we're going to fill the outside 4 and leave the middle one blank. So I will put my string through this purple bead that's sticking out. Then place on 2 green beads, one right here and one right here. Then we'll need to place our string through this middle green bead without adding another bead, and then through this next purple one too. So through that middle green one, and then through the next purple. Then I'll place a green here and a green here. Then I'll place my string through this green edge bead and add a purple. Then I'll need to weave my string through all the middle beads until I get to this one. Then I'll add a purple bead right there. Now you'll just need to get these 2 strings next to each other so we can tie it off. So I'm going to take this shorter one that's up in the corner, and I am going to place this string through this green bead that's right next to the purple one it's coming out of. And then through the next purple bead. So we're weaving it down towards the other string. And then I'm going to place it through this next green, through the next purple, and then through the next green and the next purple. And now the 2 strings are right next to each other. So one's coming out of this bead and one's coming out of this bead, and they are pointed at each other. So now we can tie this off. I'm going to use a triple knot. Gently tug on the ends to tighten the knot. Be careful if you're using a similar string to mine because they can snap. And then we can cut the ends off. And now the mask should look like this. And now we'll need to sew the 2 points at the top and bottom together. So first I will get a short piece of string. This is maybe like, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches long. And I'll place it through the middle green bead at the top. And then I'll make sure that the 2 ends are the same length. And I will take one end and put it through a purple bead that's right next to that green bead. And then do the same on the other end of the string. So now the strings are going through the middle 3 beads of the very top. So now I will take this end and place it through the second bead to the inside on the other side. So now it's coming out of this green bead. And then I'll switch strings and do the same thing with that one. I'll bring it over to the opposite side and place it through that green bead. I will take this end of the string and place it through the very point purple bead of the other side. And the same thing with the other end. I'll bring it to the opposite side and place it through the purple point bead. So this should be laced up similar to a shoelace. And then you can just tie it into a square knot. And then you can cut off the ends. So now this side is like that. And now we need to do the other side. So another like 6-inch piece of string. Place it through the 3 middle beads of the very top of the mask. Make sure that the 2 ends are equal length. Take one end of the string and place it through the second to the inside green bead on the other side. Then switch to your other string and place that one through the second to the inside bead on the opposite side. Grab one end of the string and place it through the purple point bead on the opposite side. Grab your other string, place it through the purple point bead of the opposite side. And now you can pull it tight and tie it off. And then cut off the ends. So this is the body of the mask finished. Now we need to make the straps. And for the straps, I'm going to be using this white 1mm elastic. I find it's more comfortable and stretchy for my ears. So for the straps, I use the length of one of my arms, so like 2 feet for the strap. And I'm gonna flip my mask over so the knot will be on the inside when I tie this strap off. You'll want to fold the string in half and have the 2 ends next to each other. So you're going to put one end through the second to the inside bead of the top of the mask. And then put your other end of the string through the bead right underneath that one. Then you'll want to pull the string all the way through and make sure that the ends are equal lengths. Then you'll put the ends together and place both ends through the top corner bead of the mask. Both the ends should be coming out of that top corner bead. And I've decided to make my straps all purple because I have a lot of purple. And I'm going to put 34 beads for my mask strap. And of course, you'll need to put the two ends of the string together and place each bead onto both of those ends at once. So now that I have 34 beads on my mask strap, I'll need to put the two ends of the string together and place them through the very top corner bead of the other side. Then I'll take one end of the string and place it through the second bead to the inside on the very top. And then take the other end and put it through the bead right underneath that one. So it should look like that. And then you'll need to tie these two ends together. I'm going to do a triple knot. And then I'm going to cut the ends off. And then I will take this and kind of pull on it. See what I mean though? You can totally see the knot, but at least it's on the inside. So that strap is done. Now we have to do the other strap. So I'm going to get another about 2-foot piece of string. Fold that string in half. Place one end of the string through the second bead to the inside on the very top row. And place the other end of the string through the bead directly underneath that one. And then pull the string through, keeping the ends the same length. Then put the two ends together and place them through the top corner bead. Now I'm going to add 34 beads onto this string by holding the two ends together and placing the bead onto both of them at once. Now that I have my 34 beads on here, I'm going to hold the two ends together and place them both through the corner purple bead. And then I'll take one end of the string and place it through the second to the inside bead on the very top. And then I'll place the other end of the string through the bead that's right underneath that one. And now I will tie that into a triple knot. Okay, and then I'll tug that. There we go. So that is our completed candy mask. But since we're in spooky season, there's something I want to try. I brought a little spider friend. And I'm gonna see if I can tie him on to where he sits right there in the middle. Let me see. I'm gonna use a clear string. Just a few inches. Okay. So I'm going to go into the middle of the mask. I'm gonna do like this bead and this bead. So like two purple beads. I'm gonna put my string all the way through the mask though, if that makes any sense. So the end is coming through the other side. And now I'm gonna put Spider Friend in this little loop. And make sure that when I tighten it, the loop goes around the center of his body. Alright, and I'll take my two ends of the string that are on the inside of the mask now and tie them tightly so Spider Friend does not come off. Let's see how that came out. Oh my god. He's a cutie! So I did get Spider Friend from Walmart. And then the beads came from Walmart too. And the string is all from Joann's, in case anyone was wondering. So Spider Friend mask is done. Very cute! You'll be able to find Spider Friend mask and tons of other cute things in my Etsy store, which I'll link down below. Thank you so much for watching. My social medias are in the description if you want to say hi, share your candy pics, whatever. Comment below for any questions or suggestions. And until next time, peace, love, unity, and respect.